So one of the things that I saw that they said that you didn't have a position on immigration, or that you weren't gonna, if you became the new state attorney, you wouldn't work with people that people who are charged with crimes that come into the office, and to take their immigration status in consideration when plea offers were being made, or charges, the final charges that were being filed were decided on. What is your position on that? Would you take someone's immigration status into consideration when you're making plea offers, or even deciding what the ultimate charge would be in a criminal case?
I'm not sure who said that or which organization said that, but I think that it's clear from our last conversation when we specifically spoke about that, because you deal with immigration cases, that you know that that's not accurate. In fact, some of the, I don't know if I said this to you or was it in a different interview, but I've had what were called commendations in our office for essentially doing the right thing, where attorneys have come in and said, hey, this guy, he should be commended for his actions. He's looking past what's going on, just listening to supervisors on what's going on. And one of those was for my work with a immigrant individual. He was arrested for sexual battery and we ultimately filed kidnapping charges. A year later, I dropped the case. Why did I drop the case? Because he didn't commit the crime, period. He didn't commit the crime. But then what I also did was work with the defense attorney so that he had all the information that he needed when dealing with ICE, because the guy was in ICE custody, to assist him in getting him out of ICE custody. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the crime, ICE didn't release him, and they released him back to his country of origin. However, he asked the sitting state attorney to give me a commendation because of the work that I did on the case, how swift it was, and how fair I was on that case. That's not the only case that I've worked on. There are more Black and brown immigrants in this county than any other county in Broward County. And I'm specifically Black.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to just clarify a little bit on the immigration side of it, right? So, like, if the charges were dropped and the person still got deported, I would have to say, just as a practitioner, that it was because of something besides it. Unless they had a different criminal conviction for something else, they may have ultimately been deported because there was no way for them to have lawful status in the United States. And it wasn't necessarily because of the arrest, because that's not one of the charges that immigration has a separate charge for. So if he wasn't able to ultimately stay, it wasn't as a result of the arrest. It may have been as a result of him not having the ability to maintain get lawful status in the United States once he got into immigration custody. That's just for the nerds listening.
Well, which unfortunately I couldn't control.
That has nothing to do with you, right?
Yes, but I provided the defense attorney with everything quickly that he needed to ensure that he can keep his client in. We're talking about dealing with other cases where I've changed charges so that they could stay within the country. We had one case when somebody got arrested literally at the courthouse when he was trying to get married to an American citizen because he forged his only charge ever, because he forged his identification. And because he forged identification, I believe that's considered a crime of moral turpitude, and they were going to take him in, put a hold on him, and he couldn't plea out to the charges in which we were charging him to. We had a back and forth with the supervisor that said, this is patently inequitable. If this was somebody that was in this country, who was born in this country, and they did that, we give him 18 months probation. But because he was born outside the country and overstayed his visa, and he had a child, he remained married, or he was getting married to the wife of his children, we are now further punishing him by not changing the charge.
And punishing the family too, right? The child and the American citizen spouse.
And what was told to me was that by the immigration attorneys was that he had to either, one, he would not be able to re-enter if he was kicked out of the country, or two, he would have to wait a period of 5 years or something before he could reapply to come
Yeah,
back.
because he probably got a fraud charge, and then he was going to need a waiver for the fraud, and those waivers are sometimes hard to get.
Yeah,
What you're
and we're not even talking about U visas, because we know that the U visas are for victims and witnesses. I've worked on that since the moment I've been in felony, and
Yes.
that's an easy fix because we're assisting them just like they're assisting us.
Right.
There is
And those are people
nothing
that
in
are
my
victims
record.
of crimes. Those are people sometimes victims of crimes or witnesses to crimes. They're the ones that are eligible for U visas.
Yeah. So my record as it comes to being and helping the immigrant community is not only above board, but it pushes back against what currently happens. Now, I love what you said earlier, which is this could have easily been fixed with a phone call. That doesn't even seem like my character. There's certain things where somebody like says that about you, like, oh yeah, I might have said that. Like my mother-in-law said, she just bought some. She's here helping us with the baby, and I may have said something, not even thinking about it. I don't even know if I said it, but she said, "Oh, was it you that said ginger snaps are for old people?" And she was eating a ginger snap, and I was like, "Probably." and like that's something I would say.
I guess I'm old people because I like ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps and Werther's Originals, like the stuff like
okay,
that.
I don't know about that. That might be a little older than me.
And my wife likes ginger snaps too. But I was like, yeah, I might have said that, but I don't know. I don't remember it. Like that sounds like something I would say. But it doesn't sound like something I say would be completely disrespectful to my mother-in-law, because that's not the kind of person I am. But joking around with them, that might be something I'd say. So again, a simple phone call could have fixed someone's misinterpretation of what they thought.